Thank you for joining us for this episode of Comply on the Fly with M3 and Karen B. Comply on the Fly is your trusted weekly resource for reliable insight and quick answers on common employee benefits compliance questions. Please note, this podcast and the contents herein do not constitute legal advice. Seek the advice of counsel for any employee benefits, compliance-related guidance, or strategy.
Hello, everyone. I'm Karen B. And the Comply on the Fly question of the week is, I have an employee who wants to switch to her spouse's plans as it is open enrollment time at her spouse's employer. Can she drop our coverage and make the switch? Well, the answer to this question has two components. The drop of the actual coverage, so for instance, medical, dental, and/or vision coverage itself, and then the Section 125 pre-tax premium elections. The easy part of the answer is the termination of the various coverages the employee is enrolled in. Of course, they can terminate that coverage, barring anything in the plan document that would prohibit a person to terminate or drop the coverage mid-year. Typically, there are no such provisions in most insurance contracts. The difficult part of the answer is regarding the Section 125 pre-tax premium elections. As a reminder, employees elect every year to pay for their portion of the premium on a pre-tax basis, assuming you offer this option. And those elections, say to pay a certain amount for medical, dental, and/or vision premiums, are irrevocable or locked in for the entire 12-month period, unless there is a Section 125 qualifying event that would allow the employee to revoke those pre-tax premium elections. In this case, someone wants to terminate coverage under the three plans she is enrolled in, so medical, dental, and vision, in order to enroll in her husband's coverage during his open enrollment. Of course, she can terminate the coverage under the plans, but can she revoke her Section 125 pre-tax premium elections for all three plans? The answer is generally yes, based on the Section 125 qualifying event known as change in coverage under other employer plan. This is an allowable election change event, so make sure that it is listed in your Section 125 written plan document. Basically, this event allows an employee to make a prospective election change that is on account of and corresponds with a change made under another employer plan. This event allows election changes in two separate situations: when the other employer plan allows an election change that is permissible under the regulations, or when the other employer plan has a different period of coverage. Of course, the consistency requirement must be satisfied, meaning the new election or revocation must be on account of and correspond with a change under the other employer plan. If it is the spouse's open enrollment time and the employee wants to make a switch to go on to the spouse's plans, the corresponding pre-tax elections made under your Section 125 plan may be revoked. This would allow the employee to not only terminate from the actual coverage you offer, but also to quit paying for it on a pre-tax basis, because there is a qualifying event under Section 125 that will allow her to do so. And that is your Comply on the Fly question of the week. Thanks for tuning in.
What's on your mind? If you have a pressing compliance question, send it to askkarenb@m3ins.com. We'll do our best to cover it in an upcoming episode. You can now follow and subscribe to Comply on the Fly on Spotify, iTunes, and Google Podcasts. Make sure to tune in next week and encourage others to join us.